You're listening to the Entertainment Club with Anjaval.
Bringing you the best of the Tri-State and Caribbean entertainment.
Introducing the Entertainment Club Talk Show with your host Anjaval.
And yo people, welcome to a brand new show. I name Anjaval.
Current affairs and entertainment news, reviews and interviews.
All we in Jamaica we know to be seen in a very negative light.
What you are doing right now can be a component as part of a larger sum.
We're too tribal, and because of the size of our population, we're very tribal. So it's either GLP or PMP.
Join us on Wednesdays 9 to 10 p.m. on Styles FM. Come for the talk, stay for the music. Premiering January 2020 on Styles FM. Listen globally on www.stylesfm.com.
45 between me and Anjo are decades and decades of underdevelopment and stagnation Jamaica experience.
The Entertainment Club Talk Show is more than just entertainment. You're listening to the Entertainment Club with Anjaval.
Bringing you the best of the Tri-State and Caribbean entertainment.
All right. I'm in the building. It's Wednesday, March 11th. Welcome everyone to the Entertainment Club. I'm your boy Anjaval, and this is bringing you the best of the Tri-State and Caribbean entertainment. Styles FM, what's up, my people? It is another show, and of course, I'm in the building. Tonight, I don't have a special guest, but guess what? I have music for you. I also have my viral news and some Val's Views live talk. Catch me right here every Wednesday, 9 to 10 p.m. And of course, you don't know, this is how you listen to entertainment. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to another episode of the Entertainment Club. I'm your boy Andrew Val, and tonight I have a little bit of lineup for you. And of course, you don't know, for the past couple of weeks I've been interviewing some tri-state based artists. I've done quite a few interviews with some artists they're actually from Jamaica, but they're living in the United States. And of course, there's crazy things happening in New York, especially in Mount Vernon and in New Rochelle with the coronavirus. I heard that it is also in Jamaica. So Jamaicans, I want y'all to just kind of, keep hydrated and make sure that you work on your, fix up your hygiene, make sure so you wash your hands and all of that, because, boy, this coronavirus. In fact, the World Health Organization says that it's a pandemic right now. So it has moved from an epidemic to something greater, and it has a global effect. And just today, I think the health minister announced via his official Twitter page that there is a second case of coronavirus in Jamaica. Now, patient 0, I think what they're going to call the second one now, patient 0.1 or, the second patient. I mean, I might chuckle a little bit on that, but it's not anything to really joke about. In fact, I see a lot of Jamaicans are creating dance moves. I mean, I love my people, but it's a serious situation, brethren and sisters. So I want to just, take
Bringing you
heed.
the best of the tri-state.
This is the
and
Entertainment
Caribbean.
Club. I'm your boy Andrew Val, bringing you the best of the tri-state in Caribbean entertainment. And so we started off. Big respect to Sir Jacko over there. Of course, you don't know, in Jamaica, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm your boy Andrew Val. Welcome to another episode of the Entertainment Club. All right, so tonight we will be having a little discussion. Well, not really a discussion, just like a monologue. I'll be giving you my 2 cents on a few topics. And just recently we have seen where a video came out with 4 young men brandishing a firearm, and that actually, grabbed the attention of the JCF. And I'm not sure if all of them are in custody, but from the last time I heard, I think it was 3 of them that were in, and they're still waiting for the 4th one. Maybe he's in. I will be speaking on that as well. And also remember that I have my viral news coming at you for tonight. But just recently I interviewed Keisha Martin, and she dropped a song called So Good. And I think this one is on my playlist. And she premiered the song just a few weeks ago right here on Styles FM. I want to say big respect to all the listeners listening in globally and www.stylesfm.com. Also, all my Jamaicans listening in over there in Portland, St. Anne, St. Mary. And of course, you don't know, this is how you listen to entertainment. St. Thomas, big up on yourself. We're not left out. Nobody in a St. Thomas, despite of what's happening right now over there in Jamaica. People, the mask and the gloves won't help. All you gotta do is just make sure that you keep washing your hands. And I see that the superstores are selling out in terms of hand sanitizers, tissues, and water. It is like you have heard that a hurricane is coming and you all go to do some last minute shopping, but that won't help. Just eat up your fruits, get some healthy food in your system. Keep your immune system strong, and remember to practice proper hygiene. But anyhow, here is Keisha Martin with a song called Feel Good right now, coming at you. This is the Entertainment Club.
It's
first part of the show, I'll be giving you some music from featured artists that appeared on this show. Just a few weeks ago, I had a chat with Keisha Martin. She'll be coming to Jamaica pretty soon, so look out for her. This one is called So Good. Available on all digital platforms right now, so go copy it, go copy it, go copy it.
Can't take my man from me, but the love where him I get is so good. So no boy can't take me from my baby, but the love in him I give me so good. And no girl can't take my man from me, but the love where him I get is so good. Say when you want your man I touch the road up your admiration, and I circle your man like punch up on land. But no matter what them do not get no attention. None of them girl no qualify if he try if he take your man. Understand him have a good man where him no want to lose, and him only have eyes for you and only you will do. And you never have to worry, he's in love with you. He's so good. Yes.
Get used to that one, you know.
You got the body, got the brains, you got the move.
Hey.
Anything you want, he said, yes, I'll do for you. No, you never have to worry, he's in love with you.
This is Keisha Martin, thing called So Good.
It's so good. So no boy can't take me from my baby, cause the love in him I give me so good. And no girl can't take my man from me, cause the love where him I get is so good. So no boy can't take me from my baby, cause the love in him I give me so good. And no girl can't take my man from me, cause the love where him I get is so good.
Track available on all digital platforms right about now. This is Keisha Martin coming up to you on the Entertainment Club. I'm your boy Andrew Val. Styles FM, what's up? St. Mary, St. Anne, St. Thomas, Portland, Wagwan. I'm in the building for another Wednesday night. So good. That was Keisha Martin. So good. Gonna be checking out another one from Mr. Smalls. This one is called Mr. Smalls.
Bringing you the best
Thing called
in Caribbean entertainment.
Pat Yourself on Your Back. Featuring tri-state based artists right now coming at you. Stand by for an interview from Mr. Smalls. We're trying to work on that interview because he'll be my next featured artist. So get used to it, get used to it, get used to it. Mr. Smalls, patch yourself.
You say that, but pretty girl, patch yourself on your back. Me, you have up that thing there. No, that's your belly. Girl, you bring your pig there. Some girl life dirty and it's sick there. And that's why landlord evict there. Some girl lifestyle was out. As them get a new man, him walk out. Who know they are prison get charcoal. So me want you feel walk out and talk up.
Patch yourself on your back.
Because you think start out, you know walk out. Patch yourself on your back. Come you so hot, but pretty girl, pat yourself on your back. Miss Independent, yellow you say that, but pretty girl, pat yourself on your back. Them a worry about you, but you not worry about them. Them sit down and a chatter every day, but them are not for your problem. Some girl just mix up and that's why nobody no want them. True, your man a spend money on you, that's why them have a problem. So if you walk out and talk up and pat yourself on your back, because you think start out, you know walk out. Pat yourself on your back, them a wonder how come you so hot, but pretty girl, pat yourself on your back. Miss Independent, yellow you say that, but pretty girl, pat yourself on your back.
Mr. Small Stick Call, pat yourself on your back. Tri-state based artist, living in Brooklyn to be exact. Trying to line up an interview with him for next week. If not, we'll do the following week. Before this one, you heard Keisha Martin with a thing called So Good. You just heard Mr. Smalls, pat yourself.
Hey, na 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 na. Got your back, I got your back.
You wanna know who this one is?
I got your back.
This is Startina Martina. Voice of the one Martina.
The back has a need if you know that. Now they put it on the Instagram, yeah, me sure that. Like a flower in the garden, love we are grow that. Them need to know that. I'm my man for sure that.
New artist segment.
Them carry news, cause them will want me left him. But I'm a man, so me not piss him. Anything we him do, this girl nah dingy dingy. No, me not stress him. You see life, it is a lesson. And to man, woman is a blessing.
So Keisha Martin come from Manhattan.
Oh me, oh my.
Mr. Smalls is from Brooklyn.
Check him.
Martina is from Queens.
Got your back.
So we're touching all the 5 boroughs of New York right now.
Mommy have your back, cause I'm in need if you know that. Now they put it on the Instagram, yeah, me sure that.
Did an interview with Martina a few weeks ago.
The garden love we are grow.
So get used to the artist, get used to the artist.
I'm my man for sure that. Chew me a in bunny, in my Clyde. When we are walking, your wife in front, not girl on the side. Oh, you spend the money, me give him the wickedest right. Tell her gonna catch feelings, she never hear alkaline. Where? Got your back, got your back, got your back.
Styles FM, the world listens.
Got your back.
The Entertainment Club bringing you the best of the tri-state.
Cause I'm in need if you know that. Now they put it on the Instagram, yeah, me sure that. Like a flower in the garden, love we are grow that. Them need to know that. I'm my man for sure that. They are my man that. They are my man that. Let's go keep it locked. They are my man that. Never ever stop. Cause I'm my man that.
96.1, 96.5, 96.7. Styles FM. www.stylesfm.com. This is the Entertainment Club. Every Wednesday you can catch me right here 9 to 10 p.m. as I bring you the best of the tri-state in Caribbean entertainment. You've just heard from Startina Martina, a thing called Got Your Back. Did an interview with her just a few weeks ago. Very interesting artist to chat with. Not new to the music scene, but of course you don't know from her short hiatus. She's back at it again, doing great things. Go catch this music, all of them, on every digital platform right about now.
Bring you the best of the tri-state.
So let's go to the Bronx right now. This one is coming from Mr. Controversy, all the way in the Bronx. Thing called Profile. New Artist Wednesdays. That's how we do it. New tune, watch it.
Y'all love off my style, love out my program, love out my vibe. Me speak the truth, don't care about no guy, me not pop off, no gunja Rastafari. Some man want war with the naughty, true, me take them cat it. Ooh, can't stop me, little boy, better know yourself. Brooks Coffee, better talk to your gal before you come at me. I be a profile, I got my off come round me. I be a profile, I got my off come round. She take it off when she don't feel lonely. She love off the done me, I the one and only. I be a profile, I got my off come round. She take it off when she don't feel lonely. I'd step up. Listen this, some man off is stepping on my class. More action, less talk. Boy off to see me on all them girl with caution. I can't talk meat for extortion. Me have a life problem.
So we got Keisha in a Manhattan. We got Mr. Smalls in a Brooklyn. We got Martina in a Queens. Now we are in the Boogie Down Bronx with Controversy, thing called Profile.
I mean never let the right no left and now we've been confident, consistent with the plan. Plus me treat woman good put on pedestal. All love is the key, that's the only answer. I be a profile, I got my up come round me. I be a profile, I got my off come round. She take it off when she don't feel lonely. She love after done me, I the one and only. I be a profile, I got my off come round me. I be a profile, I got my off come round. She take it off when she don't feel lonely. She love after done me, I the one and only. I be a profile, I got my off come round me. I be a profile, I got my off come round. She take it off when she don't feel lonely. She love after done me, I the one and only. I be a profile, I got my off come round me. I be a profile, I got my off come round. She take it off when she don't feel.
Check him out on Instagram at Controversy.
Listen, you better know how to treat your girl. Ah, she a call me. Talk to her softly. Your girl want me. And she a swarm me. When she put it on me. When she put it on me. I'll be a profile, I got my off come round me. I'll be a profile, I got my off come round. She take it off when she don't feel lonely. She love after done me, I the one and only. I'll be a
Profile me, have a guy come round me. I'll be a pro. Alright, that was Controversy Profile. And I just want to take a quick break before I get into the next song, right? Now, people, this has been a show that I'm happy and I'm grateful that Styles FM could give us a platform to showcase overseas artists. This is not the only international show that is aired on Styles FM, but Styles FM is global. www.stylesfm.com. When we say the world listens, we literally mean the globe. So right now, it is a show that will highlight tri-state based artists. And when I say tri-state, for those of you who have been listening in on the show for every week, when we say tri-state, we mean New York, Connecticut, Jersey, and sometimes we might add Pennsylvania in there. But this show is not only to feature tri-state artists, because now and again I'll do a little bit of current mix in terms of dancehall and pop dancehall and cultural vibe. As the first show, I started out on a high. And now we're all the way in March. And this show, as I said before, is really to highlight some of these Jamaican tri-state based artists that a lot of radio disc jocks across Jamaica not really giving the highlight to. So it is only fitting that we play these type of music to give these type of artists the leverage, the exposure that they deserve, because they work hard. And let me tell you this, every artist that I feature on this show, they have a regular 9 to 5. So they're balancing both the music and the 9 to 5 to create an income so that they can put it back into their career. So it's only fair that if we have a platform to showcase music, we showcase music from all walks of life. We showcase music from every artist. You know, if a PO if we play a song, we don't do the PO thing, because we are here to highlight young talents, and that's what this show is about. That's why we call it the Entertainment Club. So welcome to the club, and thanks for being a club member. Thanks for being a part of the club. You don't need a ticket. You don't need a pass. You don't need to admit one. All you need to do is just hit that dial. 96.1, 96.5, 96.7. Yeah, hear me? Too much talking. Here's my girl, Lady Ali.
With Andrew Val.
I featured her last week. This song is called Advocate for Victims. Only just listen to that song. I mean, I do no more talking. Just listen, just listen, just listen.
This a Lady Ali, but I know more thing. Advocate for victims. Don't make them back to the pain. Put abusers to shame. Me I call your name. If you ever meet a woman again, you can't bruise up this skin. We no slave, we shackle in a chain. Your clothes and we go in a flame. Me I call your name. If you ever meet a woman again. I know, this a one here. But me I go put a stop to it. Not to your pay for me here. Your feel say yeah, you feel a pop me toad back out here. What I know.
thing called Advocate for Victims. Video available right now to be viewed on YouTube. Just type up Lady Ali, Ladyali. Advocate for Victims. Go check it out, yeah? I want to say she's from Anota Bay in St. Mary. So all the St. Mary Massive, she representing for your parish. No, Lady Ali is from Mount Vernon, and Mount Vernon is a neighboring community to the Bronx. It's a separate county from Bronx. It's just a stone throw away, just a bordering street from the Bronx and Mount Vernon. So we travel all over New York City right now. I went from Manhattan to Brooklyn to Queens to the Bronx, and now I'm all the way in Mount Vernon. Boy, may I tell you, I'm traveling.
Betty, training from your mother, you never get it. Must it feel me a ball and you a messy. You're weak in your system. Advocate for victims.
Alright, so that was Lady Ali, thing called Advocate for Victims, and I said before, all the songs that I've played, they're available on all digital platforms. Also, this music video called Advocate for Victims available on YouTube. So just go look for Lady Ali, search Lady Ali on YouTube. And if you want to find her on Instagram, it is Lady Ali Music. Also on Facebook, it is Lady Ali. So look out, my peeps. This is the first half of the show, The Entertainment Club. I'm your boy, Andrew Val, Styles FM, 96.1, 96.5, 96.7. The world listens. I'm going for a quick commercial break, and when I come back, I have the second half of the show with viral news. Keep it locked. We'll soon be back.
Bringing you the best of the tri-state and Caribbean.
You're listening to the Entertainment Club with Anjaval.
Bringing you the best of the tri-state and Caribbean entertainment.
So we're back in the building for the second half of the Entertainment Club. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Remember, if you're liking the Wednesday night vibe right here, just let me know. Send us a message via WhatsApp. Just let me know, you know what I mean? But we're back in the second half of the show and it's time for viral news, and then I'll be giving you Val's Views live. I usually have a little, little chit chat with y'all on a conscious vibe. So the first half of the show was music. Then the next half of the show is really more information. And as Sir Jacko and I, we were just having a little discussion about the global scare of the coronavirus. We have never seen anything like this before. And I've seen a lot of people pretty much just, talking about past viruses and airborne diseases. But this one is something that have everybody kind of on their toes. In fact, where I'm at right now, New York City is almost on a partial lockdown. Schools are being closed. Events are being cancelled. There's a section, I think, in New Rochelle where they have the National Guards locking down that particular community because no one can enter nor exit. So it's a crazy thing, this coronavirus. And then I don't know how Jamaica we're going to handle it, because there have been 2 cases so far, and it is something that we can't really joke about. It is something that we have to take seriously. But at the end of the day, no matter how much masks we wear and gloves, that will not help. In fact, they said that the lady that actually imported the virus, and I don't know if it's fair to say the lady imported the virus, because there is information going around that I think from March or earliest February they suspected a case. But a lot of people saying that the health minister, he has been lying to the nation. But I can't say whether or not that's a lie. I can't really say because I don't have proof of that. But it's quite evident that we have 2 cases currently in Jamaica. And in fact, a young man from St. Mary, I think he was in Kingston, he was quarantined and he pretty much escaped. And they caught him. Now, he could be facing possible charges because he might have put many lives at risk just by leaving out of that isolation facility that they housed these people at. Now, people, it is a serious thing. I'm not scared because fear-based tactics don't work on me, and I hope that it will not work on many Jamaicans, because when you're stressed, your immune system is not as strong as it is supposed to be. Eat up on the fruits, drink up on the water, leave KFC alone and Burger King and Popeyes. The fast food thing now go help right now. And it is kind of surprising to me that all of a sudden everybody is trying to get hand sanitizer and trying to make sure that their hands are clean. So before coronavirus, you never used to take care of yourself. So why has this virus come out now, everybody run up and down and try, buy bleach? And I mean, Jamaicans are usually a clean set of people. And when I say clean, we believe in cleanliness. And I have, I've traveled around the world, not many countries, but I've gone to quite a few countries. And I must say that how, as Jamaicans, we keep our surrounding compared to how a lot of foreigners keep their surroundings, we are not that bad. House is always clean, bathroom, the kitchen. But I'm thinking about the individuals who don't really have running water, because a lot of Jamaicans are complaining that there's water lock off. So that is something that the NWC will have to take into consideration right now as to how they are going to deal with this situation. Now, people, as I said before, just keep healthy, keep happy. That helps. It is time for my viral news right now. And to kick it off, I think I started this last week, so I want to continue it. Shabba Ranks is booked and ready for Reggae Sumfest 2019. Shabba Ranks, also known as Mr. Loverman, the dancehall icon who lit up the Jamaica music scene in the 1990s, is set to illuminate the Reggae Sumfest stage as he did at the festival's second staging in 1994, then in 2012 with a 1-hour-long performance. Shabba, a Grammy-winning artist, he's known for producing hits. Among them, Trailer Loader Girls, Wicked in a Bed, Telephone Love, Twice My Age, Ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you want me to continue? But anyhow, he has great number ones under his belt. He's not one to perform by the books, according to Bogdanovich. I always get a tongue twister when I call this man's name. The promoter of Sumfest. Now, back in 1994, he entered the stage via a helicopter. So he's always good to put on a great performance. So we're anticipating a dynamic act from Shabba Ranks on the final night of Reggae Sumfest that will be happening on July 18. Women in music industry honored at FemFest. Organizers of the FemFest Jamaica celebrated excellence and empowerment. It is the second year, and the awards show and one-day festival has doubled on its commitment to highlight women in the music industry as well as entrepreneurship, and they go under the theme Boss Babies, right? Or Boss Babes. Well, we can say babies or boss babes. Well, I guess, babes, females. So that's how we kind of, title them for this year's award show. Recording artist Maka Diamond and TVJ producer Sharon Schroter are of the persons who have received awards at the ceremony held at Kingston 10 Sports Bar and Grill last Friday, almost on the eve of International Women's Day. Schroter, who is the producer of Jamaican television's intense and station's long-running talent show, Digital Rising Star, received the FemFest Honoree Award for Top Female Producer. Thumbs up to my good friend Sharon. Maka Diamond is the FemFest Lifetime Achievement in Music awardee, her second time being selected for the category, but she copped it this time around. Pampute also received the Women's Empowerment Award for the Single Mother Foundation, and D'Angel was selected the Fashionista of the Year. The ceremony featured a special performance by a few of the awardees, as well as Rain Civil and her daughter, Double K and Kerry Starr. Peter Metro, up like 11, veteran, is nostalgic over echoes of Sound Award. The names Peter Metro and Metro Media carry a lot of weight in the music industry. Last Saturday, both were honored at the inaugural staging of Echoes of Sound, an event poised to become a signature Reggae Month activity. During the 80s, Peter Metro was a lyrical game changer in the music business, and he has not lost that sting. During an interview with the star at the event, he was quick to point out that he's not 6, he's dozen, a sly reference to the squash-led 6 crew, and that he's not up like 7, but standing up like 11. Peter Metro is not fond of some of the songs he hears today, but he has plenty of respect for many of the current acts. Formerly the resident Metro Media DJ, he had mega hits in the 80s like Dedicated to You, Backway Talk, Police in England, No Putty Day, and The Girl Is Mine. Throughout the period, he collected an armful of trophies for winning coveted titles such as DJ of the Year and Most Consistent DJ. After collecting yet another award, he told the Star that he's thrilled and he's not done yet. So big respect to Peter Metro. I mean, for the 80s lover and the early 90s lover of dancehall music, y'all know, but for the newbies, for the youngsters, you might not know Peter Metro, but go Google him, find him on find a couple of his tracks on YouTube, and of course you'll get to know who Peter Metro is. Dancers take precautions classes at Black Roses Corner put on hold due to violence. The usual tours of the famed Black Roses Corner, former home of legendary dancer Bogle, have been put on hold due to spate of violence in the area. Called the birthplace of dance, it is normal for tourists to frequent the area in search of surviving members of the Black Roses crew for dance classes. But the dancers are shying away from this, according to Boise, real name Lonsdale Gay. He said that, like him, the dancers are taking the necessary precautions to keep the tourists safe. He says the best move was to postpone classes for the time being at Black Roses, which is close to the feud communities of Arnett Gardens and Jungle, he said during a recent interview. Recent reports of the murder of Rumram, the personality who inspired the dance and song of the same name, shook the dancehall community and was more reason to leave the cultural grounds alone. Boise suggested that the violence was not linked to gang war or politics, but more like best friend against best friend. Now, that's very disturbing because clearly the grounds in terms of Roses Corner, Willie Hogarth, John Hype, Beanie Man, Bogle, this is where pretty much, I wouldn't say dancing began there, but at the end of the day, we have to think, what is really going on in Jamaica? Thumbs up to the dancers who initiated this whole dance class with tourists, and especially with ships being docked in Port Royal. They haven't docked any since the corona scare, but after the scare, then I'm assuming that a lot of these tourists will travel to the Roses Corner, especially those who have been watching and listening to dancehall music and videos over the years. It is almost like a site, like a museum then, so to speak, where a lot of dancehall lovers would go. It's like a house of Leo. So for these dancers to postpone something as important as dance classes, where they're not only teaching Jamaicans, but they're teaching tourists dance moves, that's a big thing. And I say thumbs up to them. But it's very sad. Rest in peace, Rumram. Condolences to his family. That sums it up for the Jamaican side of the viral news. Now, everybody knows Nicki Minaj, and everybody knows that Nicki Minaj has found a new love in her life. And recently they were at Trinidad Carnival, and I think Iowa George was trying to get Nicki's attention. And for those of you who follow a lot of social media pages, especially the entertainment gossip pages and the entertainment news pages, you would have seen where social media went hard at Nicki Minaj's boyfriend or husband, I should say, when he pretty much blocked Iowa from touching Nicki. I find it very strange. First of all, Nicki is from Trinidad. That's her land. And it's very, it's very disturbing to see what actually happened. Now, let me play some music and then I will pretty much come right back. All right?
from far with your man. When him never have nothing and him only have a plan. You have house, car, deed to the land, investment and thing and some stocks and bond. Fly out regular private excursion. When you take him from a gal, yes, to a family man. You nah worry about nothing 'cause them can't break the band. Are you wear the crown 'cause your position strong? So no boy can't take me from my baby. And the loving him a give me so good. And no girl can't take my man from me. And the love where him a get is so good. So no boy can't take me from my baby. And the loving him a give me so good. And no girl can't take my man from me. And the love where him a get is so good. Say when you want your man a touch the wood up your admiration. Y'all a circle your man like vulture on land. But no matter what them do not get no attention. None of them y'all no qualify fi try fi take your man. Understand him have a good man where him no want fi lose. And him only have eyes for you and only you will do. And you never have to worry he's in love with you. You're so good. You're so good. You got the body, got the brains, you got the moves. Anything you want is that yes I'll do for you. No, you never have to worry he's in love with you. You're so good. You're so good. So no
All right, so we're back in the building. We're back in the building. We're back in the building. So I was talking about the Nicki Minaj situation, right? And it is very funny, right? Because just recently we have heard of her brother being charged for raping his underage stepdaughter, right? And y'all wouldn't even believe what's happening. So Nicki Minaj's husband past is, I think coming back to bite him. He's been arrested by U.S. Marshals on an indictment for failing to register. Listen to this, to register as a sex offender. Now, TMZ has learned that Kenneth Petty was in federal custody last Wednesday, where he was actually picked up by he turned himself into the marshals. According to court docs, he faced a judge just last Wednesday. Now, Petty moved to California in July 2019. Let me set the story for you, right? But according to law enforcement, he got pulled over in Beverly Hills in November last year. And that's when his legal troubles actually started. Now, we're told that Beverly Hills Police Department made a traffic stop on November 15 and determined Petty was a registered sex offender in New York State, but he didn't register in California as required. So if you're going to move from one state to another in terms of changing your address, your residence, as a sex offender, it is very serious. There is actually a site that you can go on and type up sex offenders in New York or sex offenders near me, and it will show you a list of sex offenders, right? So apparently, Nicki Minaj's husband did not register as a sex offender in California. Now, he was arrested and released on a $20,000 bond. The LA County DA charged him for failing to register as a sex offender. He was lucky he was let out, but it's $20,000 that. So I don't know if he has money to pay it or that's going to come out of Nicki's pocket. It appears he still don't check in after that because now the feds are on the case. He was indicted in federal court for the same thing. So this is a repeated thing. He failed to register before and he has done it again. And his rap sheet includes a 1995 conviction for first-degree attempted rape. He served almost 4 years in New York State prison for the crime and was required to register as a sex offender. So I guess he didn't register back in New York State when he was required to. Then he was forced to register in New York. After moving to California, I guess to Nikki, he was also required to register as a sex offender in Cali, and he did not. Now, if convicted on a federal charge for failure to register, Kenneth could face up to 10 years in prison. 10 years in prison. Well, that's like a slap on the wrist anyway. 10 years, if it runs concurrently, then he'd probably do half of that because they count day and night as, 2 days. So he'll go 12 hours and then another 12 hours is 2 days that. So he probably run half of that. I don't know how they do it in Cali. TMZ broke the story. Nikki and Kenneth hit up the Beverly Hills courthouse to get a marriage license in July, around the time the couple moved to Cali. So she got married to him back in July in Cali. Now, this is the interesting part for me. Back in 2015, Minaj's brother was accused of raping his stepdaughter, and he got 25 to life for repeatedly raping his 11-year-old stepdaughter. So I don't know what's up with Nicki Minaj and these pedophiles, and it is so funny that her brother got charged back in 2015 for committing a similar act, and then now her husband. What's going on? I don't understand what's going on. So that's my hot topic for today. All right, so all the Nicki fans, I know y'all will defend Nicki, but I can't defend Nicki on this one. I mean, if you're a pedophile, if you're a rapist, especially you're going down the road of your stepdaughter and then having attempted rape charge on you, not registering, you know what you're doing. But anyhow, that's my hot topic for today. Now, I only have 5 minutes left in the building, and I think I want to use that 5 minutes to really talk to my Jamaican people, because I made this one just for you. Val's Views Live, this particular segment in this episode just for you. And this is about abuse on students by teachers and abuse by children at the hands of the state and by parents and by area dons and just marginalized youths and unattached youths, right? Nothing much has changed post-slavery and the system of discrimination through institutionalized education of Jamaicans, and that is done in the name of economics. We can't go around it. We go to school because we want to have a better future. And they always say that education is the key, but the key to what door and to open what? And the only door I see that education, the key of education opens, is the material prosperity door, right? Here is a historical fact. Imagine almost 200 years ago, just before the so-called abolition of slavery, mothers and fathers were on the plantations working as slaves. Listen to where I'm going with this, all right? Because this goes back to the 4 individuals that we've seen on the video brandishing the gun, and the students at school fighting and disrespecting teachers and principals and so on and so forth, right? Now, Britain, the first to ever free slaves, and that was back in 1833. Europe followed in 1834, and the United States in 1865, right? This is where the breakdown of the family structure begins in Jamaica. And I just give you a brief history as to how long now they have abolished slavery. And currently we're still seeing effects of that, especially in the Caribbean. And we're going to narrow the scope, focus, tunnel vision on Jamaica. Where were the children of slaves who worked as house servants and field slaves back in the day? It is said that slaves would work up to 20 hours a day. Mostly the men and a small percentage of women worked on the fields, right? These hardworking men and women were paid with rations that they were very, very, very meager rations and clearly insufficient to sustain a good life. They were allowed, which quote unquote forced to live free on the plantations. Because of this unfair treatment by the slave masters, which I call them today modern day government, There were rebellious slaves, and these are sometimes we see these Rastafarians and sometimes the conscious citizens of Jamaica. We call them the rebellious slaves. It is said that some house slaves, the boastful / educated citizens in Jamaica now, were more passive and submissive. Listen, those slaves were more passive and submissive back then because they were working in the house. And in today's day, this time we have some boastful people about education, and we can call them politicians, and we can call them sometimes some doctors and some nurses and some teachers who are more passive. And we're seeing that playing out today. All right, watch the comparison now. Before / post abolition of slavery. So I'm going to go before and then I talk about after. The only difference between the 1800s and now is that we are not in an actual field tending to agricultural products, but we are also being paid with rations, but not with rations with food, but in currency to buy food, right? And to live independently. So we are no longer living on the plantation, but we are now living free and quote unquote free, but we have to either pay land tax, we have to pay our mortgages, we have to pay our rent, all of that, right? From the days of slavery, families are being separated. Even to this day, nothing has changed. The females were mostly house slaves working as cooks, dressmakers, housekeepers, etc. Domestic workers, we're talking about them. The males were sent into the fields. The fathers were sent out. The fathers are still being sent out now. Back in the day, our grandparents used to stay home while our granddads would go out and tend to the crops. It's the same thing. So my thing is, if parents can't really get a chance to groom their kids, but send them off to an institution which we call school, where the school system has also failed these kids, when we have failed kids coming out of high schools, or quote unquote failed kids coming out of high school, the Ministry of Education deemed them a failure. But in my opinion, I think that the failure should be laid at the feet of those who run the education ministry. The failure should be laid at the feet of those who run the country. Because there is nothing. There's no sustainable growth. There's no sustainable social growth. No mentorship. No social intervention. They have teachers trying to talk to kids and be therapists. They're not psychiatrists. They're not. Teachers are only there to carry out an order, to carry out a lesson, to make sure that the syllabus and the curriculum is followed by these students. And then after graduating, they move on into the workforce. And this is why we have a breakdown in our society where kids are being disruptive, kids are being disrespectful, kids are being titled hoodlums, kids are being titled as gangsters. And I think it's very unfair because a lot of us as adults tend to forget. It's almost like we have amnesia that when we were going to school, we did almost the same thing. The only difference with back then and now is that we don't have social media, we don't have camera phones back then, but we have it now. So discrimination through institutionalized education is what I'm talking about. The education system is a filtering system, and we need to really and truly either open up our brains, open up our minds, stop being hypocrites, stop being ignorant, and just call a spade a spade. These kids are no different than our age group. I left school almost, 20 years ago. And we used to do the same thing. So it's funny how adults these days are looking at these kids and calling them all sorts of names and putting the blame on only parents when teachers fail. Putting the blame on parents when the education system fails. Putting the blame only on parents when the government of Jamaica fails. Whether it's PMP or JLP, views expressed on this show, they are just my views, and those, they do not reflect that of Styles FM. But it's a serious talk. It is something serious. We are no longer our brother's keeper. We're no longer using the village to raise children. Everybody is up in them own world, and all they care about is their house and cars and expensive garments and jewelry. and their money and how much you have in the bank, and nobody cares about the kids who are still mentally struggling, who are still growing, and they don't reach a level of maturity yet to make adult type decisions. So sometimes they're going to fall through the cracks. And you have parents who work very hard on discipline, but outside influence, peer pressure, sometimes greater than that you taught in the house. So in closing, my people, if you're one of those individuals who go on social media, if you're one of those individuals who sit and watch the kids in the community fall through the cracks and say, oh, it's not my fault, it's your fault. Collectively, we all can make a difference. Collectively, we all can change Jamaica. And that's it for Val's Views Live for this episode. In closing, my people, wash your hand. Get some fruits. Leave Popeye, leave Burger King on a serious note. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Andrew Val saying peace out. Catch you all next week, same time, same place. Styles FM, the world listens. Have a great evening.